grab a pillow. Oh, that's not. All right. Hello. So, welcome. Wednesday night yoga. Can find yourself in a nice, comfortable seat, whatever that is to you. I sometimes like to kneel and just prop my hips up with a pillow or a block. Anytime where your hips are higher than your knees, it's going to help just relax those hips and relax your back. So you can always just settle into this a little bit easier, I find. And I don't know how the rest of you are feeling today, but, feeling, midweek, kind of energies all over the place. So my big focus for us tonight is to feel a bit more grounded. And I like to get there with a little bit of focus and also a little bit of play. So we're going to be flipping upside down a little bit tonight too. And if that makes you nervous thinking about, then great. We'll have lots of fun doing that and pushing a bit of comfort and pushing our sort of area of awareness a little bit, which is a wonderful place to be because then you grow a bit. So as you're seated, you can have your hands on your thighs, palms down, or palms up if you need a little bit more energy coming to you right now. Palms down to feel a bit more grounded. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, soften your gaze, close your eyes, and start to bring your awareness to your breath. Notice how you feel as you inhale. Bring that nourishing oxygen into your lungs, into your body. And as you exhale, see if you can lengthen that exhale. Let go of all your air from your lungs. Inhale into any areas where you feel like you're holding tension. And then exhale that out. Try to breathe into your belly, your low back, and find a lot of space in your torso. And as you're breathing, start to bring your awareness to your body. Notice the parts of your body touching the floor or a pillow. Notice how your body feels in the space. Maybe there's a breeze that you're noticing on your skin. And notice how it feels to breathe in your nose and out your nose. And we're just going to do a clearing breath here. So exhale out all your air. Take a big inhale to the top of your breath. And then open your mouth side out. Be as obnoxious as you can be. Let's do that again. Big inhale. Then side out your mouth. Let go of the weak, any stress, anything that's bubbled up. And one more, just because you can. Big inhale. Let it go. Good. And then if your eyes are closed, you can soften your gaze, open them, and start to roll your shoulders back. Closing your mouth, breathing in and out through your nose now. And then roll your shoulders forward. Good, and then we're going to take our right hand, bring it behind our back, cross your left hand over your knee or your thigh, however you're sitting, And start to twist and look over your shoulder. Try to twist from the base of your spine all the way up through your neck. Then as you inhale, bring yourself back through center. And we're going to exhale to the other side. Think about finding some length first before you twist. And then inhale back through center. Exhale, relax those shoulders. So we're going to take a big inhale up. Interlace your fingers and push your palms up to the sky. Exhale, relax your shoulders down and bring your palms a little bit further back. Take a couple more breaths here. Think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then big inhale. Push your palms forward and around your back. Good. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, round forward. Give yourself a little bit of an arch, like in that cat pose. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. Good. And this time, inhale, arms come up, and then let them come behind your back. Interlace your fingers and open up through your chest. Maybe your palms are together behind your back, or maybe your fingers are simply interlaced. And then let your hands release from behind. And we're just going to let our head rock and roll from side to side. Start getting into your neck. Finding any sticky spots. And offering some movement to those areas. And then holding your head to one side. Reach with your opposite arm so you really find length through your neck and your upper traps. And play with tucking your chin into your chest and maybe lifting it up a little bit until you find a sweet spot or a spot that needs a little bit more love, a little more attention. Attention, not tension. And then let's inhale up and come to the other side. And again, reach that arm so you're lowering your shoulder and finding length through your neck. And play with tucking your chin into your chest and then lifting it up until you find maybe an area and you're like, oh yeah, just gonna hang out here for a bit, breathe into it. Give your muscles permission to relax and go. There's no need to be holding tension here anymore. When you're ready, inhale, bring your head up. And we're gonna remove our pillow, remove our block, and find ourselves in a tabletop. So hands are below your shoulders, knees are below your hips. And we'll play with some cat-cows again. So on your exhale, you round out your spine. And then inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and your tail. And keep moving with your breath. Make it feel really good in your body. You can even close your eyes and come inside. And just listen to what you want right now instead of worrying how you look. And that might mean you want to go side to side. Maybe that feels good. Or even make circles or figure eights. As you breathe. Let's take a couple more cycles of breath. And on your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine, nice flat back. And we're gonna inhale, lift your right leg high to the sky. And if you're feeling nice and stable here, float your opposite arm, your left arm forward. Pushing into the ground with that right palm and left knee. And we'll do a little bit of moving here. Inhale, reach forward. And then exhale, squeeze, elbow and knee come to touch. And inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. And inhale, lift as high as you can. Exhale, lower down. Let's come to the other side. Inhale, left leg up. Your hips nice and square. And then flow your right arm forward. The shoulders still relaxed. Big inhale, reach long. Then exhale, elbow and knee come to touch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze, warming up our body here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Inhale, nice and long. Kicking your heel back. And exhale, bring those hands back down. And we're going to bring our palms forward a little bit. Tent your fingers and start to reach your armpits down to the ground for puppy dog. So getting into your shoulders a bit more here. Maybe your forehead finds the floor. And when you're ready, slowly walk those hands back. Sit on your heels. And we're going to do our hooping camel. So no right or wrong here. As one hand comes back, we're going to swing our opposite arm up and over, lifting up through our hips. And then exhale down and switch sides. Inhale, lift. Thinking about pushing your hips forward first and foremost. Inhale up. And exhale down. Make this feel really good. Flow with it. Last time each side. Big inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale lower. All right, walk those hands forward. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes and come up into our downward facing dog. Take a moment to walk out your dog. Bending one knee at a time, pushing your opposite heel down. Stretch out those calves. This is my first down dog of the day, and I'm definitely feeling some tightness in my whole back body. So it's good to start off nice and easy. When you're ready, find a little bit of stillness here. Really spreading your fingers wide, relaxing your shoulders. Energetically squeezing your arms towards each other. If you know what I mean, that's how you integrate your shoulders. And so you can relax a little bit more. And then from here, we're going to ripple forward into a high plank. So lifting up on your toes, start to ripple through your spine until your shoulders come over your wrists. Good. Exhale, ripple back into your down dog. Inhale, ripple forward. Take your time, make it smooth like a wave on the ocean. Exhale back. Inhale, ripple forward, last time. And exhale, hold here. And if you need to, you can have your knees on the mat, that's fine. Or stay up, take another big inhale. Tell yourself how awesome you are. And then exhale, slowly lower down to your belly. Take your time. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders back. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Keeping your neck long. We're going to do 3 baby cobras. As you inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift using your strong back muscles. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. This time, pushing your hands into the mat, lift yourself up into a full cobra. Relax your shoulders down. If your cobra is down here, that is totally fine. If you have a little bit more movement in your spine, maybe you're up here, but keep your shoulders down away from your ears. hips heavy, and try to keep your feet somewhat close together, because they'll have a tendency to spread apart. And then slowly lower down and push back into child's pose for a few breaths. Take your time. Sink down here. Bring your forehead to your mat or the floor, and let your hips get heavy. Take a big inhale, and then sigh it out through your mouth. And this is a great place to come back to if you need to rest or take a break at any point. So stay here if you want, or let's come back up, tuck your toes, and lift up into a downward facing dog. All right. So we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet now. So take your time, make it intentional, and have your feet about hip width apart, so you can measure that by having 2 fist lengths. Down, feet apart, and then bending your knees enough so that you can relax your back and let your body or torso hang over your thighs, and grab opposite elbows. And just let gravity pull you down. Nod your head yes, shake your head no, relax your neck. And this is an inversion. So our heart is a little bit lower than it usually is. Inversions help us flip our energy. Hi, Chai, come and say hi. And we're going to slowly roll up. So I like to have my hands on my thighs for a little bit extra support for my back. And bring yourself slowly up and stand. And it is totally normal to feel a little lightheaded here. If you do, just take a few breaths, sink down. And wherever you are, start to rock forward and back in your feet, maybe a little side to side. Rainbow your toes, so spread your toes out wide until you feel all 4 corners of your feet press firmly into the ground, really rooted down like a tree. Knees are soft. Your pelvis is slightly tucked, just enough so you're in sort of neutral, so you're not tipping forward or tipping back. Stack your vertebrae and roll your shoulders down and back. Lift the crown of your head up to the sky. Slight tuck of your chin in for a nice long neck. And let your palms turn forward into our mountain pose, Tadasana. I love saying that because it's like, ta-da, I'm here, the mountain pose. And let's just take a few breaths here and scan your body. How do you feel right now? I'm just going to turn it sideways so you can see me a bit better. All right. We're going to shift our weight into our left foot and float our right knee up to the sky. Give your knee a big hug, big squeeze. All right. We're going to flex our foot and then cross our ankle over our other knee and start to sink our hips back and down, reaching your hands forward. So we're kind of in a figure 4, but standing. Really important that your ankle is flexed so that you're protecting your knee. Your hands reaching forward to help you balance. Maybe your hands come to your heart and maybe you sink your hips down a little bit more. Also think about pushing this knee that's bent down as well to really get into your hips. Use your breath to persuade your body to come a little bit deeper into the shape Remember, yoga is a feeling. So it doesn't matter what you look like. What matters is that you are getting a nice stretch here and you're working on your balance. Nice gentle gaze. Good, and slowly inhale, lift yourself up. Arms reach up, knee comes up, and kick your foot out in front of you. How high can you get your foot? A little bit higher. Pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring your leg down. Ooh, and give yourself a little shake. Let that go. And without any expectations, we're coming right into the other side. Shifting your weight into your right leg. Float your left knee up. And give your knee a nice, good squeeze. Let's flex our ankle and cross it over our other knee and start to sink our hips down. Okay. Again, really be mindful of your left knee here, making sure this ankle is flexed. Hands reaching forward, find your balance. So nice focal point on the ground or the wall in front of you. Maybe your hands come to your heart. And with every exhale, maybe you find a little bit more space to sink into the shape. Reaching your hips back. Noticing how this side feels different from the other side. No judgment. And as you inhale, start to lift yourself up. Arms reach up to the sky. Kick your leg out in front of you. Can you lift it a little higher? Let's try pulsing it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring it down. Shake that out. And we're going to take a big inhale, reaching up and then back. Arching your back a little bit if it feels good. And exhale, fold from your hips, forward fold all the way down. Planting your hands and walking your hands forward into your downward facing dog. Let's inhale, right leg high to the sky. Bend your knee and then open up through your hips. Maybe you see your toes underneath your armpit. See if you can lift your right knee a little higher. And then keep equal weight in both your arms. Sinking your left heel to the ground. And then inhale, lengthen through your leg. Square your hips, pointing your toes to the ground. And exhale, we're going to bend our knee and step all the way through to the top of our mat. And make sure your feet are on railway tracks. And you're on your back toes. Using your core strength, inhale, lift yourself up to the sky. And exhale, bend into your front knee into a high lunge. Okay, we're going to inhale, cactus our arms, open up through our chest. And exhale, push forward. A little bit of Tai Chi moving here. Inhale, open through your chest. Bringing in all the good stuff in life. And exhale, out. One more big inhale. Having light wash over you. And exhale, relax more. Good. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, left hand down to the mat. Right hand to the sky. So you're in a nice, gentle twist here. Feel free to lower that back knee to the ground if that feels better for you. If your knee is up, think about reaching that back heel back towards the wall. Can you lift up more weight off of that hand on the ground? Take one more big inhale. Then exhale, we're going to swim your right arm forward and lengthen your right leg. Coming into a bit of a pyramid pose here. And if you have quite tight hamstrings, having a block or a pillow or something nearby that you can put your hands on will help bring the floor closer to you. You can also bring in your back leg a little bit more if that feels better. In here, try to pull your right hip back and bring the crown of your head forward. Getting into those hamstrings. Good, and then what we're going to do is place our left hand down and then inhale, right arm up to the sky. So we're really getting into those IT dance. Again, if you have a block or pan of soup or something for your left hand on the ground, that's really helpful in this sort of reverse pyramid shape. You can also have your hand on your lower back. It's a little bit much for your shoulders. One more big inhale. Then exhale, release both hands down to the ground and step back into your downward facing dog. Whew. Shake out those hips. We're going to inhale, ripple forward into your high plank. Exhale, lower down to the floor. Inhale, up into a cobra. Bring yourself forward and then up. Exhale, lower down. Then inhale, push back into your child's pose for a breath. And meet in downward facing dog. Take 2 more breaths here. Finding your center, feeling grounded. Spreading your fingers wide. And when you're ready, inhale, left leg high to the sky. Bend your knee and open up through your hips. So you can reach your left knee up a little bit higher, keeping equal weight in both your arms. And then reach your right heel down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen through your legs, square your hips. And exhale, bring your knee to your nose, lift your hips high, and step your foot forward by your left hand. Coming up on our back toes, energetically squeeze towards your center line. And inhale, lifting up to the sky. And exhale, sink down into that front knee, into your high lunge. Let's inhale, cactus our arms, open up through your chest. And exhale, push forward. Good. Inhale, bring in love. Exhale out any doubt. Inhale in joy into your life. Exhale out any stress. One more big inhale. Exhale, push out when it no longer serves you. And inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, right hand finds the ground, left hand upwards. Again, option to lower that back knee if that feels better. Or keeping your knee up and reach your heel towards the back of your room. See if you can be light in your fingertips, really reaching upwards. One more big inhale, lift up. And then exhale, swing your left arm forward, left hip back, coming into your pyramid here. So again, option to have a block on your hand. Or to bring your back foot in a little closer. So we're going to pull our left hip back. And then the crown of your head comes forward. Inhale. Exhale, finding a little bit more space. Breathing into those hamstrings. Good. What we're going to do here is plant our right hand a little bit closer to that front foot. And then inhale up our left arm into a reverse pyramid. So this sort of gets more into the IT down the side of your hip and your leg. Looking up towards the sky or down towards the floor, whatever is best for your neck. And this hand up here, if it's feeling awkward, you can bring it to your low back instead to help with the twist. One more big inhale. And exhale, bring both hands down to the ground, bending into your front knee. And step your back foot forward to come into a forward fold. And bend your knees and start to roll up once again. Nice and slow, take your time. Rolling your shoulders back when you get to the top. I'm going to turn this way, so you can see. We're going to come into another balance here. We're going to come into a tree pose. So shifting your weight into your left foot, floating your right knee up, and you're going to turn your knee out to the side. And your foot can come to your ankle, your shin, or above your knee, as long as it's not pushing on your knee. Okay, so this is a good spot for me right now. Bring your hands together. Push your foot into your leg. And lifting up, feeling grounded, like a tree. Root those feet in. And then maybe your branches float up to the sky. Finding that focal point, a spot that's not moving, to focus on with a soft gaze. What can you relax here as you sink down and lift up at the same time? If you're finding this super easy, you want to challenge yourself, maybe try closing your eyes. It's pretty hard when you can't see. There you go. Take one more breath here. Exhale. If your eyes are closed, open them up and release your foot down. And just give yourself a little shake. A little swing side to side, let that go. And we come right into the other side. So shifting your weight into your right foot, float your left knee up. Turn your knee out, and then again, foot below your knee or above your knee. Feels better on this side. So sides can be different, that's okay, whatever you're feeling. And think about pushing your foot into your leg. And then rooting your foot down to the ground. Think about lifting up through the crown of your head. Those opposing forces of rooting and rising. Maybe your branches float up to the sky. Finding that focal point. Soften your gaze. Or maybe even close your eyes. What can you relax? Maybe your jaw, maybe your shoulders. Let those release. Take one more big breath in. Exhale. Open your eyes if they're closed. And release your tree pose and just shake it out. And now we're at the top of our mat. We're going to step back with our right leg into a warrior two stance. All right, so your back foot is planted firmly in the ground, and you're bending into your front knee. Arms reach forward and back, shoulders relaxed. So sometimes I like to turn my palms up. I find that helps relax my shoulders a bit more. Whatever works for you, palms down, palms up. Wherever you are, bend in that front knee, and make sure your knee is energetically pushing outwards so you can still see your big toe. Feel the strength in your foundation. Yeah, let's turn that front palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. We're going to bend at our elbow and pull our elbow back for a tricep stretch. Option 2 is maybe your other hand comes behind your back and tries to bind behind your back, or attempts to in my case. It's okay if you're not quite there yet. Sink into that front knee once again. Inhale, release your bind, lengthen to that front knee, and we're going to reach forward and then come into our triangle pose. So this front hand can rest on our shin or our foot. The important thing is that your spine stays straight, so don't sacrifice your spine just to get lower down with your hand. Okay, you want to ice cream scoop that left hip underneath, so you're as flat as possible, like you're between two panes of glass. Maybe you're looking up towards the sky or down towards the ground, whatever feels good for you. This is one of those shapes that seems quite simple, but you're getting into a lot of interesting things with your hips and your hamstrings here. So breathe into anything that I feel needs some relief. And then inhale, lift yourself up with your core. And we're going to turn our toes to the long edge of our mat. Hands come to hips. Inhale, open up through your shoulders. And exhale, lead with your chin and come all the way down to a wide leg forward fold. Maybe your hands find the floor, maybe your forehead finds the floor. Let gravity pull you down. And as you inhale, bring your hands under your shoulders, bend your knees slightly, hands come to hips, and then exhale, bring yourself all the way up. And we're going to step to the top of our mat again. Take a big inhale, reach those arms up, maybe a bit of a back bend here. Exhale, let your hands come down to heart center. And step back with your left foot this time into your warrior two stance. Pushing the back edge of your back foot down into the mat, reaching your arms forward and back. And then energetically having that front knee go outwards so you can see your big toe. And the strength of your foundation, what can you relax here? Let's inhale, reverse our warrior. Bend at your elbow and pull your elbow back for a tricep stretch. Or option 2 is to bring your other hand behind your back and maybe your fingers come to touch or bind. This side might be different than the other side. Sinking into that front knee a little bit more. Then inhale, release your bind, lengthen through that front leg. We're going to reach forward. And come on down to your triangle pose. Your front palm comes to your shin or your foot. Ice cream scoop that hip underneath. And maybe you're looking up towards the sky. Notice this hip is really pushing inwards so that you can have a nice long spine here. And inhale, use your core, lift yourself up and turn your toes to the long edge of your mat. And I'll just turn around so you don't have to look at my butt here. Inhale, bring your hands behind your back. Open up through your chest. And then exhale, forward fold with your bind. Maybe your arms come over top. Try to have your palms together if they can reach. If not, that's okay. And then when you're ready to come up, inhale, bend your knees slightly and feel like you're being pulled from your wrists. So lift yourself all the way up. And we're simply going to heel toe our feet closer together until you're just wider than shoulders, I'd say. And then toes are out on 45. We're going to come down into a Yogi Squat. So start to bring yourself down. Maybe you come hands to knees. Maybe elbows to knees. Or maybe your hips sink all the way down. If you're down here, try to have your heels on the ground. They might not come, that's okay. Elbows come to the inside of your knees. And then think about pushing your elbows to your knees to your elbows. And bring your sternum towards your thumbs, lifting up nice and tall. As you sink those hips down. So more of those opposing forces. And we're going to play a little bit here. All right, so we're going to come into a crow pose, which is going to be on your hands a little bit. So you can gently come out of your Yogi Squat if you want. I'm just going to show you from the side. It's a little bit easier. Try not to get in the way of my cat sleeping. So you're going to plant your hands on the ground. Where should I go, Chai? Is this okay? Okay. All right. So we're going to lift our hips nice and high. And you're going to try to nestle your knees as high up on the backs of your arms as you can, as like in your armpits. And start to rock forward so your weight is on the backs of your arms. And you can do that a little bit. Start to play with having the weight on your hands. And you're looking forward. And know that it's okay, because you're so close to the ground, if anything happens, you're right here. So nothing bad can happen, I promise. All right, if you can get this, then you can start playing by lifting one foot up, maybe the other foot lifts up, maybe both feet lift up. Woo, and you're in crow. Breathe here for a little bit. Yeah, how's it going? And then gently come out of it. All right. Woo, how'd that go? Good? All right, shake it out. Find yourself down on the mat. And we're going to come into, I'm just trying to navigate around this little furball, into a seated forward situation here, legs out in front. And we're going to tuck one leg in. All right. So you're going to turn your torso so you're over top of your front leg and start to walk your hands forward. And maybe they land on your shin, maybe they find your ankle, maybe your toes. Wherever you are, just let your hands rest down. Start to bring your heart forward and then down. Nice deep breaths. You're ready, walking those hands up. And we're going to take this bent leg and cross it over top of our other leg, making sure our toes are on the ground, and give your knee a big hug in. And you can stay here. Hopefully, think about pulling your knee across your body so you feel that stretch along the side of your leg. Or you can tuck your bottom leg in underneath, as long as both your sit bones stay on the ground, and come into a bit of a pretzel here. So give yourself a hug. All right. If you want a little bit more, So you can stay here, but if you want a little bit more, we're going to come into cow face pose. So to do that, you want to stack your knees on top of each other. So what helps me is I actually come forward, cross my knees a little bit more, and then sit back down, making sure both my ankles are flexed. Something happened in the living room. There was one of these. All right. And you want to push your feet out. I'm quite tight in the hips, so you might look different than me, right? That's okay. You can stay here or maybe start to fold forward to go a little bit deeper, breathing into those hips. Using your powerful breath to find some peace and calmness in your body. If you're starting to feel more tension, that's the opposite of what we want to achieve right now. So if things are getting a little bit anxious like that, simply come out of the shape a little bit. And wherever you are, we're going to unravel and bring your feet flat and give yourself a little bit of a rock side to side here, windshield wipers. Letting go of anything that's bubbled up in your hips. And we're going to lengthen our opposite leg and tuck in the other foot. Okay? So again, lifting from your hips. We're going to start to walk our hands forward, letting them rest on your shin, your ankle, your foot. And then relax down over your leg. If the backs of your legs are quite tight, you can even just have your hands by your hips here and push yourself forward a little bit. I often feel the stretch more in my back on the bent leg side rather than my hamstrings. So wherever you need the medicine, so to speak, is where you're going to feel it in these shapes. And that can be different for everybody and different on different days. And then slowly start to walk yourself back up. Take your bent leg and cross it over, making sure your toe is plugged into the floor, and give your knee a big hug to help bring your knee across your body to feel that tension through your hip. And you can stay here or tuck that bottom leg underneath, making sure both your sit bones stay on the ground. Maybe adding a bit of a twist if that feels good. And if you went into cow face pose on the other side, you can do so on this side too by stacking your knees. So again, I come forward, cross the knees a little bit more, and then I sit back down again, making sure I flex both my ankles. And again, I'm quite tight, so I might look a little lopsided, and that's just me. I'm working on this one. So you kind of want to be pretty symmetrical here if you can. And if you're more open and have more space, then you can start to fold forward here. Okay. Wherever you are, breathe into any tight spots and let them go. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly unravel, flat your feet, and windshield wiper side to side. And we're going to find yourself on our backs. All right, so have your feet nice and close to your body. So we're going to do 2 bridges tonight. So you want to energetically squeeze your knees towards each other, but they don't have to touch. Sometimes you can put a block or a pillow between your knees, like this. Help keep them hip width apart. And we're going to robot our elbows and start to slowly roll our hips up towards the sky. And you can stay here, or maybe your hands come underneath your back, interlace your fingers, and then walk your shoulders underneath a little bit more to really help your heart shine upwards. What can you relax here? Maybe those glute muscles. See if you can lift your hips a little higher. And then releasing your bind if you have it, and slowly lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Bring your hands to your belly and just take a few breaths here. We're going to come into the bridge one more time. If you want to go deeper into a wheel, I'll speak to a wheel tonight, or simply come back up into the same bridge. Okay? So robot those arms if you're going to bridge. If you want to come to a wheel, your hands now come by your ears. Now again, we roll our hips up towards the sky, and we push into our hands and start to shine our heart up towards the sky. Now I'm quite, I'm still finding some mobility in my back, so it actually helps me to lift my heels up and start to reach out forward. Step as long as you like, or you can start to gently lower yourself down to the ground, one vertebrae at a time. We're going to bring our feet as wide as our mat, knees together. One hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. And breathe into both your hands. Feel them rise and fall. Maybe noticing your heart beating in your chest. And our last shape tonight before our final rest is going to be an inversion. So option, simply lift your feet high up to the sky, and you can use your hands underneath your tailbone, keep them lifted with a little bit less energy needed in the hips. Or if you're nearby a wall, you can bring your feet up the wall, which is really nice and passive, so you can really relax here. And just start to melt down into the floor, feeling heavy, feeling grounded. Your awareness on your breath as you inhale and exhale. We might be in separate spaces right now, but we're all connected. And let's take a moment to just send out a little message, a little whisper a little thought to someone or something. Maybe there's somebody that needs a hug right now, or a little bit of love. And just acknowledge them. And that person could totally be yourself. And feel free to stay here for a final rest if this is really feeling good. Or start to bend your knees and hug your knees into your chest. And then slowly stretch your feet out long. Take up space with your arms. And find yourself into Shavasana, eyes closed. Sinking down into Mother Earth, feeling totally supported. Relaxing your jaw and your forehead. Feeling your low back drop down into the ground. And your hands and your feet get heavy. And bringing awareness back to your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And you reach your arms overhead for a big full body stretch. And roll onto one side before slowly coming back up to seated position. We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, and to the rest of the universe atomically. I Neil deGrasse Tyson. Man, I'm thinking about one. With that being said, bring your hands to your beautiful heart and just take a moment to think of something you are super grateful for. Maybe the pets in your life. And I'm grateful for you for sharing this with me tonight. Hopefully you're all feeling good. And we'll see you again next week.